ready?
Don't interrupt him.
Is anybody listening?
Who knows?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 240 for September the 13th, 2024. My name is Fraser. I am joined on my right by Neil.
Hi.
And I'm not joined on my left by Dave. He can't make it tonight, so we have special guest returning, the return of the Mac. It's Pilch.
Good evening, gentlemen.
How are you doing, mate?
And everyone else?
Oh, and the listen. How many listeners have we got?
Well, we don't
probably
know.
Probably not many right now.
Okay.
Sumu's in the chat.
I'm fine
He's
at the
giving it to
moment.
Pilch.
Stop talking.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking, Neil.
Get on with it then.
I'm very well, thank you, chaps. I haven't
Good.
been up to much, but yeah, here I am. I got the call.
And you answered it.
Yes, I did.
That's the kind of guy you are, dependable.
Yeah, once every 6 months.
Master of technology.
That's all we can take.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, it's good to have you here, Pilch. Nice to see you again, mate. Of course it is.
Friday the 13th. You didn't mention it was Friday the 13th. You didn't make no
whatever.
reference to
Who
that.
does, that might make sense why I'm having the day.
Why
from
having
now.
a shit day?
Yeah. All right. Well, it's Friday the 13th, everybody. So let's see if we can just squeak through this with no issues. Yeah, once again, great to be back. Great to have Pilch here joining us for this episode, and we'll catch up with Dave again probably in a week. Well, without further ado, I guess as per normal, we'll move on to the footy stuff.
We haven't had
Neil?
any footy, obviously.
Oh, there was no footy last week.
No, well, there was footy. Was no Premier League footy.
Okay, all right.
So we've had international break, which everyone loves,
I mean,
obviously.
I can say from my point of view, the international break was good because Canada beat America on their own turf. It doesn't matter.
Friendly.
It doesn't
friendly,
matter.
no one cares. Or is it like
matter. We care?
Is it like Liverpool Everton? It's never friendly.
Well, the main sticking point is we hadn't won on American soil since 1958. So
what happened in 1958?
We beat them.
How good? Like, yeah, but like
I haven't looked into the details. I mean, I'm not really too interested.
How many times
in
before
into a
1958?
football game from 1958 when the ball was orange? I mean,
wow. Was it snowing? Oh, you were on their soil, so maybe not.
Yes, sir. They have snow in America.
I did know that, but
No.
Have you got snow at this time of year in Canada? You haven't.
We have actually. Yeah, there's snow up north already.
Yeah, but that's not where you live.
Well, you didn't say where I
said where you are. I said.
Where am I? No snow yet. No, it's 24. I'm baking here right now.
Well, the fucking heating's close to coming on over here.
Yeah, it's fucking cold tonight.
Oh, well, you got to get rid of some of those pensioners, haven't you? I mean, that's what it's got
to
be, right? Can't afford to pay the pensions, so just increase the heating, get rid of the pensioners, save on pension money, job done. I mean,
all part of the plan.
Win-win.
Well, the Tories would just do it a different way.
The pensioners.
Tories do it a different way. They get rid of the pensions a different way.
Do they?
Well, they did during the pandemic.
Didn't all the heating go up during the Tory government as well? That was last year and the year before.
Have I joined the Overseas Connection? Am I on the wrong podcast?
Why?
Talking politics. Come on, games, football.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
football.
Yeah, we've wandered off. Have you listened to this show before? We didn't talk about a lot of our bollocks.
Have you bought any cars yet, Neil? That's what I want to know.
No, I've stopped looking because I can't afford to. I like to.
Oh, give over! Every week you buy a Sonos.
It's not every week. I did look at turntables today. Like in the early hours of this morning, I was looking at turntables, and there was one that's like literally connects to your Sonos. I was like, oh, that's quite cool. It was 500 quid.
Shite.
No, it's not shite. You can just connect it to a normal hi-fi as well.
Wow.
But
the technology is amazing.
Yeah. You need old school stuff, mate. Valves and fuses.
No, you ain't doing that. Well, fuses are definitely essential, but valves are unnecessary, in my opinion. But yeah.
All right. Well, look, we'll come back to cars because we can do a little bit on cars. Any more football then? England did all right. Did
England won their 2 games in the Nations League, League B, which we should win every fucking game in League B because everyone else is shit in that league. So the top ranked team is something like 50. I think Ireland are the top ranked team in League B, other than us, obviously. And now somehow Scotland are in League A. Don't quite know what happened. So they're obviously going to get absolutely battered every game. So yeah, there's that. Obviously, we've had players getting injured during international break. Haaland, who's had a family friend pass away, so he's not sure. Pep says he's not sure he's in the right mental state to play.
He's only going to get 2 goals this week.
Probably going to get a hat trick again, isn't he? So probably just like do that thing where they all point to the sky when they've scored and all that stuff, you know.
How on earth are Ireland ranked that low?
Because they're not very good anymore. They had Luton players playing again.
I mean, I thought they were a little bit of a footballing nation, weren't they? But
that was like 40 years ago. Ireland? Not many.
They're ranked below Canada now. How is that?
Did you see the best thing about that game was that Declan Rice and Jack Grealish scored, and they both played for under 18s or whatever. Was it under 21s? They played for Ireland,
right?
And obviously they weren't very popular, and they both scored. That was just it was just written, wasn't it? It was a had to happen.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's great.
And the manager of England played for the Republic of Ireland as well, and he's a proper Brummie. Like he's as Brummie as Jack Grealish. They're both Brummies. And Declan Rice does not sound Irish. I think it's his grandparents that were Irish. So you know, they obviously realise when you're young, obviously it's like, well, I'll play for Ireland because you never know. And then when you realise you're actually quite good, you decide you're going to play for England because you might actually get to play for England.
Well, that was what we were saying about Haaland, right? Why would Haaland not do the same? He could play for England, right? He
could have done. He was born in England. His dad is obviously Norwegian. I don't know about his mum, to be fair. I don't know where she's from.
Somebody should be having words with him.
Well, it's too late now. He's played for full international for Norway, so you can't just change. After under 21s, if you play for the full national team, that's it. You're done. That's it. That's you done.
Change no matter what.
No, you can't be sanctioned to go. Well, I don't know. Maybe if there was a war, I don't know. Maybe that might.
Well, if you have dual nationality, but if you have dual nationality, surely
doesn't matter. He's played for Norway, so he's Norwegian now, as far as football goes.
All right.
These Americans thinking they can just move to America and play for America. Fucking idiots. Must be something about North Americans.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of wankers.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
No.
Anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I've got Haaland, obviously. So I'm like, he's my main man in my FPL team, and I'm like, if he doesn't play, I don't know where my points are going to come from. So I've got the whole.
Mate, he's going to play next week. Just leave him in.
Yeah, but I've got the fear, the Salah fear.
Are you in it this year?
I've got bloody Solanke and Watkins, and it looks like neither of them are playing.
Oh, Solanke's back. And Watkins is probably going to play.
Oh, he was 50% today.
Nah, Solanke said in the press conference he's back.
Did they? I haven't seen it. I've been out this morning, so
Van der Ven and Solanke both back for it.
How many of the Gooners are out?
Odegaard obviously got a massive injury. He looks like he's out for a month or so.
Yeah, they said 3 weeks. That's not a massive injury, is it?
Well, so it's definitely out this weekend, put it that way.
I consider breaking your leg a massive injury.
For Man City. Yeah, well, Ake's out for a couple of months, is it, or something?
Is he?
So there's been a few crocked on international duty. And yeah, obviously Haaland's family friend passed away, so I don't know. I reckon he'll play, but
I reckon he'll play.
And he'll probably score 7 goals this weekend. But yeah, the whole not having Salah is a bit of a scary one. Sumu's in the chat. He reckons Liverpool aren't going to score tomorrow. Well, you know why he thinks that. I think he might have the blinkers on there.
Has he watched Liverpool yet this year?
Well, he has watched Forest, so you know. I guess
but that's not real football.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not giving them too much yet.
Down the bottom, innit?
Not yet.
It's filler, isn't it?
Surprisingly good start to the season for Forest. But yeah, it's a long season. I'm sure they'll be down the bottom by the end.
Probably. Hang on a second. I have to be nice to Forest. I got told off the other day. Come on,
you didn't get
Forest.
Told.
Whom?
He's All of
told
his
you off.
North American friends.
Politely asked to stop putting the boot into Forrest. But I can't help it.
It's just such an easy
Tricky
target,
trees,
isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking about it the
It's
other
got a
day,
lot
and I
to
was
Forrest,
like, you
I
know,
love that.
I was thinking about Forrest the other day, and I was like, you know, I think what bugs me about it is just keep trotting out this bloody Champions League.
When was that from?
From the set.
Okay. So what you're saying is Luton have won a major trophy more recently than Forest. Is that what you're saying?
But I will give props to Christian and his crew in that they did win it on the bounce. 2 on the bounce, you know, a second one on the bounce or whatever. So two on the go.
How many
So,
times
yeah,
have Chelsea
fair
won?
enough. Twice. But not on the bounce, so we're obviously not.
Well,
as good
not
as
many
Forest.
people do it on the bounce, do they? Other than Real Madrid.
So yeah, so that's fair enough.
In fact, are they the only team that's ever done it on the 2 other than Forest, obviously? But that's pre-Premier League era, so no one cares.
Yeah,
Champions
Munich
League.
must have done it before. They've won a. Bayern Munich must have done it back to back at some point, surely.
Liverpool apparently have done it. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Sumu knows his football, to be fair to him.
Oh, Sumu's in there. Yeah.
Somehow he supports Forest, but he actually knows quite
well,
a bit about
when
football.
you've only won 2 trophies, you remember everybody else's, don't you?
How many have Spurs won?
12?
When was the last one of those?
Have
81?
Spurs ever won a trophy?
1995, Worthing Cup final against Chelsea.
Wow.
That was the
one we
last
won.
trophy in
I
'95.
was there. Yep. I was there. Pretty sure it was 95, or was it 2000? Oh, did we win it in 2000? Yeah, it's been 20 years.
You remember that year they got to the Champions League final and basically it was all over after about 30 seconds?
Yeah, are we talking about the handball that they changed the rules after that penalty about what was handball and what wasn't?
You had a man sent off and conceded a penalty in the first minute, wasn't it?
3 minutes.
Obviously, he doesn't.
But then that was. Don't remember it, but they changed the rules after that and said that would no longer ever be a handball. But we'll let Liverpool have it, cunts. Yeah.
He's back.
All right. Well, now you've wound him up. What else? What else we got?
I don't know. Sumu says he's got Chelsea away tickets, so a glutton for punishment.
Nice.
He's asking about Luton's new shiny stadium, which went in for official planning permission's gone in, or official whatever it is. They put the paperwork in today, so the plans are finalised, and it looks nice.
It does look nice.
What's
I
the
like that sort of
the ring of light, the rectangle of light above the stadium. That's quite cool.
Yeah,
it looks cool. But yeah,
capacity. Come on.
I didn't read the detail. It was supposed to
18,
be
19.
No, it's going to be 20. Well, I can't remember. They were going to be able to put it up easily from what it is. Whatever it's going to start at, they were going to be able to easily go up at 10, 25k. Simu says, but I don't know if that's the full. After the it must be starting at 25, and I think they can go up another 5 to 10 if it gets super popular and really good. But we hosted the under 21s.
5 or 10 out.
Yeah, we hosted the under 21s at Kenilworth Road the other day, and they smashed it 4-0 or whatever, weren't they? 4-1 or something. They enjoyed their night at the Kenny.
How does he keep talking about this team?
It's the best team in the country. Well, it's not the best team, obviously, because we're fucking shit so far this year. Things are going to change this weekend, I reckon. We're going to be back on it. We've signed Victor Moses, former Chelsea player. Bit random, came out of nowhere, that one.
You like the old boys, don't you?
Well, he's only 33,
was he 40, 42?
I feel like he should be a lot older than 33, but he is only 33. Only 33. But I think he could do a job in the Championship,
I don't know why, but anybody mentions Victor Moses, I keep thinking of this old fatherly figure. Right? It's just that sort of name, isn't it? It's probably the Moses part, right?
Maybe.
And Victor's such an
Victor
old
Meldrew
name as well, right?
and Moses. Yeah, you don't see young people called Victor, I guess, these days. I certainly haven't encountered many.
No.
If any.
Not in the Buzzard, for sure.
No. No one called Moses either, to be fair, that I've met. So.
All right, any more football?
Sure?
I don't think so. It's like
big North London derby.
Yeah. What do you fancy? You fancying it then? No Rice and no Odegaard.
Well, yeah, I reckon we can. If Solanke's playing, I reckon we can.
You could miss about 30 chances.
Get draw.
He could get on the pitch and do nothing again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm.
We'll see.
I think Tottenham can take it though. When's that
It was
match?
3-2, wasn't it? So Arsenal last time, wasn't it?
I think 2:00 Sunday.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Not too long. Not too many hours to be in the pub before the game. Obviously, big game's at 4:30 though, isn't it?
Which one?
I can't fucking remember. It's like Wolves Palace or something stupid. Like, yeah.
Oh,
the
right,
one
yeah,
everyone's
that's
waiting
one.
for at 4:30.
All right.
There's an 8:00 game on Saturday night for some reason as well. I don't know why. I guess there's no Monday night football. Yes, it's literally football all day for you Saturday.
Oh my god! I can watch
Oh,
football
there'll be
all
3
day.
games then. Oh,
Yeah.
12:30. Is it 12:30 one still on then?
12:30. There's Luton, obviously, and then Millwall v Luton tomorrow.
I get 8 hours of football on the truck.
Yeah, insane.
That's going to be good.
Oh, and Quali's on as well.
Yeah.
Formula 1.
There's Champions League,
Azerbaijan,
obviously,
is it?
starts next week. So, and well, all the European fixtures start next week. So, new format Champions League.
Yeah. What a crock of shit that. Have you seen? Have you seen what they're doing?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's literally a league, isn't it?
A huge league of 32 teams,
but you only play 8 games.
And you don't play the same teams home. 8 games. That's why they've done it. So you get 8 games. It's an extra 150 games or something. No. Yeah, that would be basically a whole new league.
I think they take the top 12 out once everybody's played 8 games, and each home and away games are different games. You don't play one team home and away. You play 7 or 8 different teams.
You play 4 home and 4 away, but yeah.
Top 16 go through in the league, and then they have playoffs for the other lot.
I can't remember what it is.
So nearly all of them go through anyway. There's only about 4 fucking teams that don't go through.
Yeah, a load of them go to the next thing down.
As usual.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's basically, they've done this so that they don't all just leave and form the Super League. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah.
Okay, let's move on from football then. I've had enough of it. Let's go on to the listener stuff. We have something here from MS Rangers, Mark.
A lot of related questions here, so I don't know how you want to do this. You can guess what they're all about. Big news this week.
Yeah, okay, they're all PS5 Pro stuff, right? In fact, they all are PS5 Pro. Okay, let's just go. All right, let's start with Mark. Evening team, the PS Pro, are they having a laugh with that price tag? £700. PSVR 2 failed. Concord failed. Last of Us Online canned. Jim Ryan really screwed Sony before he left. With all these failures, do you think if this was Microsoft, we would be hearing a lot more shit thrown at them daily?
Absolutely, on that last point, I believe.
Probably.
But there's a new Xbox coming out.
Yeah, but that's going to be
as the current one, and it's $600. So it ain't much cheaper than a souped up.
The new Series X is a bigger SSD and no disk drive, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, but no graphical.
No, it's just it's just a refresh. But it's no more. It's not like fucking 800 quid, though, is it?
It's 700 and something, isn't it?
No,
$780 if you want the. I don't know what the British.
Oh, this is the PS5 you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's not much more for a PS5 Pro on top of what is basically still a Series X.
I think.
So what one's more value? The one that they've souped up, or
depends what games you want to play, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, comparing PlayStation to Microsoft right now seems to be almost a waste of time. I God knows what Microsoft is up to. Anyway, that's, I think, getting away from the point. £700. What do we think? Or however much it is.
So,
I mean, the thing I've said, the thing somebody said, that it's not for everyone, right? If you're a nerd who has to be at the cutting edge of all console technology and you have the money in your pocket, go buy a PS5 Pro, all power to you. If you don't have the money for it or you're not interested in it, then don't be fucking interested in it. The Lamborghinis exist. You can't afford those either. And you probably don't, or you don't necessarily want one. So, it's not.
You could just buy a Jaguar instead.
Oh my God, don't start me on my car. Right, we'll get to that in a bit. All right. Don't bring it up now.
I didn't know anything about your car before.
I told you Friday the 13th. But my point is, it is really, I think there's a bit of us, right? I think we have a deep-seated aversion to this rampant consumerism, and we see that with this console refresh, right? Nobody asked for another console. We're all quite, aren't we happy with the PS5? We all thought we were happy with the PS5, and now we feel like we don't have the latest. Well, maybe not, but now we don't feel like we have the latest and greatest, and you're under that pressure. Like, shit, I can't afford this. What if my kids want it? Blah blah blah. It's so expensive. Times are tough. It's the rampant consumerism, which I think there's two things here. There's rampant consumerism, which we're all, we deep-seated. We know it's the demise of society, right? For fuck's sake, do we need to calm down on buying shit, right? The other thing is, half of all the outrage is driven by social media, right?
Totally.
I mean, you've got everybody on Twitter or whatever who's a Microsoft fanboy lambasting it. You've got everyone on Twitter, PlayStation, who can't afford it lambasting it. I mean, it's just...
One of the problems is negativity drives eyes onto your content. So
absolutely,
that's all these grifters making fucking... The people who don't have proper jobs go and make YouTube videos just spewing fucking negativity. Well, and all these Muppets just go and watch it and drive all their revenue. They're like, yeah, lovely, thank you very much. I'll just go and buy that PS5 Pro with all of your tears.
I was in a Discord the other day, and somebody posted in the Discord a screen grab of somebody from Twitter or whatever who was saying something stupid or outrageous or whatever.
No.
And they're sitting there saying, I can't believe this guy is saying this. This is outrageous. Da, 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 da. These guys, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, but you have copied what they've done and sent it out to other people and promoted these people. This is you're falling right into the trap, right? Ignore it, move on. Get rid of Twitter, people. Stop following all this bullshit, and let's just get,
I think, Limmy, as a phrase, it's called BATMO. Block and move on.
Block and move on.
BAMO.
For goodness sake. For goodness sake.
In a Glaswegian accent.
Getting back onto the subject, I bought a bloody telly 4 years ago because it had a 120 hertz screen. They're bringing this thing out so they can run 60 hertz.
Yeah.
Where 60 frames? Where the fuck's the 120 that they were promising us?
Exactly. This is the problem.
4 years ago, this machine still ain't going to be able to do it.
All this bullshit.
There's about 3 games.
You can have 120 frames if you run Balatro on your PS5 Pro.
You can have about 1 million frames if you want to play Balatro.
There's only 2 games that I've played that runs at 120 frames on my Xbox, and that was can't remember the first one. It was one of them
or Forza.
It's got to be Forza, hasn't it?
Forza. And what was the rally one that came out when the Xbox came out?
Oh, when it came out?
Yeah, it was all like Chem Block shit. It was all
Dirt 5.
Purple
Dirt
colours.
5.
Yeah, one of them. That ran at 120 hertz, and Call of Duty runs at 120 hertz. That's it. To be fair, that's all I fucking play. But now they're bringing this. All the new tellies run at 144.
That's no good.
They're never going to hit that on. They're never going to hit that on consoles.
When they first announced these consoles,
a million years,
it was all about 60 frames per second, 4K. Oh, we can play stuff at 8K. That. It's ready for 8K. It's never fucking playing anything at 8K. I can assure you.
Yeah, 5 frames. It'll run at 8K.
It's static image of 8K. Yeah. So I don't know.
But people who want to buy one, if you don't want it, don't fucking buy it. And
it's going to be a really good way to play PS4 games.
I've just ordered an iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Have you? You're mad.
Today.
That's a lot more money than the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, it's 1,200 quid.
Oh,
but
for a phone.
What's it?
Yeah, but you use them all the time. You use that all the time.
Right. I spend a lot of money on a telly, and I spend a lot of money on a phone. Apart from bed, that is what the fucking most time I spend is either on my phone or watching the telly. So I'm getting my money's worth.
That's fair enough. I hear you, and yeah, right. Following my own advice. Hey, look, it's not for me.
But it don't do anything different, really, to me. The 12 I've had for the last 3 years.
Well, but you haven't bought the last 3, so you might as well buy a new one.
Well, there you go. That's what I tend to do. I miss them out. That's why I won't be buying a Pro, because I'll wait until the 6, if they ever bring it out.
Yeah, exactly. How long before the PS6 is? And the more concerning thing is, how fucking much is a PS6 going to be when they bring one of them out?
I think I saw someone. sorry, just here's something for you. I think I read that the PS4 Pro accounted for 13% of sales and
Of the whole
about
PS4.
13% and 13% of revenue of that generation for PlayStation.
So they reckon it's going to be
neat.
similar.
So,
they reckon this is going to be
of course,
similar.
well,
An
I mean,
analyst said it was going to be similar.
Probably, right?
But it didn't have the time scale of the. They only sell it for 18 months, didn't they? It's not like how long has the PS5 been out? 4 years.
2020.
So they only bring this thing out for a couple of years, don't they? And then the next one comes out. So it's not like it's never going to meet the same sales anyway, because they don't sell it as long. This thing's been out 4 or 5 years, and then they'll chuck this out for 18 months, and then they'll bring another one out.
Yeah, and you'll pay a
So
premium.
it's never going to
the margins will be higher. You'll be paying a premium for them.
Well, remember when consoles, every time they made a refresh, they got cheaper? Remember those days?
No.
I do.
Those days are long gone.
It wasn't that long ago. Xbox 360 had 3 versions, and they got basically cheaper every time they made a new version.
But I still say, 1991, I bought a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and it was 300 fucking quid. And that was 30 years ago. So 700 quid don't seem quite so bad.
Well, that was, someone said, like, or someone somewhere I read, it was like, I think it was the PS1 launched at whatever, 300 quid. If you adjusted it for inflation, it's 720 quid.
There you go.
So maybe it's not so expensive. Just sounds fucking bad, doesn't it?
I think it's times are tough, whatever. It's it's a lot of money.
Times are tough. Times are tough.
If you don't think £700 or whatever is a lot of money, good for you. All right.
Yeah, but if that's what you want, it's not a lot of money, is it?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
That's
if
the thing.
In the big scheme of
if
things,
you've got the money to buy it,
much.
It's not a lot of money. If you're going down selling your fucking kidney to buy one, then that's a lot of money.
Have a word with yourself.
Yeah, but it's.
But then again, then again, there was someone I was, who's saying he's dirt poor, but he's 100% wants it. He's been saving up or whatever, and he's going to get it. Brilliant. Good
How
for you.
much is a 4000 series graphics card?
More than that.
Oh.
4090. For that, the top, the best graphics card you can get would easily fucking beat whatever the PS5 does.
But you've got to have all the other bits.
But it'll be like 1400 quid.
So how much is just the graphics card? There you go then.
Yeah, that's for the graphics card only. Plus you've got everything else, plus the inconvenience. I mean, I think you have to factor in, if you're a person who is PC proficient and can do all that, you have to factor in that your time.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Well, you have to factor in your time and ability's got to be worth 500 quid. Right?
And I'd be starting from scratch because I've never had a PC. So how much have I got to fucking spend?
About £3,000.
Even to get something that is equivalent to the 700 quid PlayStation, how much have I got to spend to get a PC that's going to run games like that?
Well, you ain't going to get most of them, obviously.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. At least 3 times as much. But you can watch porn on that, among other things.
You telling me you can't watch porn on a PlayStation?
It's got no browser on it.
PlayStation doesn't have a browser?
Well, you can force your way into a browser somehow, but there's not an actual browser on it now.
Well, nor is Xbox, because it uses Edge, and that is absolute fucking shit.
You're not counting that as a browser, is that right?
No.
Let's move on to Paul W. He says, I imagine that you will be discussing the PS5 Pro reveal. Astute of you, Paul. For me, the price, especially with no optical drive, is pretty crazy. £800. Oh, it's going up. £800 with £800 with an optical drive.
Yeah.
The kicker, though, is the lack of a CPU upgrade. That is going to be a bottleneck on the performance for sure, but still tempted. So they didn't upgrade the CPU; they just upgraded the GPU.
GPU, and it's got AI like frame enhancements and shit, like upscaling tech. Like the FSR, AMD FSR shit. But
ASMR.
No, it's definitely not that.
I want my PlayStation to whisper
I don't know how loud this thing's going to be. I don't know.
But we do need upgrades, because my Series X used to run, you couldn't hear it, it was whisper quiet. I used to keep it in a cupboard with all the doors shut, didn't overheat at all. Now, that fucking thing, as soon as you turn it on, that is fucking ready to take off.
Probably because you kept it in a cupboard with all the
doors open.
Can you clean it?
Yeah, I clean it all the time, hoover it out. But it's still, I took it apart and cleaned it all out. But it's still some games. The older games, if you put an shitty old game in there, it's like it was 5 years ago. But if you play Call of Duty now, that fucking thing is
it's just asking so much of it, right?
It's because while it's playing the game, it's like deleting and reinstalling stuff on your hard drive because it's that big a game now that it's it's compressed.
And my Daisy's still got the previous Xbox. She hasn't even got an S or an X, and that cannot play anything anymore.
The Xbox One is
Fortnite.
I tell you what,
can't even play Fortnite on it.
I have 2 Xbox Ones, and they are horrendous. Out of all consoles I've ever owned, they are the worst console for going back to. Everything else I can turn on.
Do you know why they're bad? Because they have mechanical hard drives in, so everything's super fucking slow.
Right. Yeah, it's just
got used to the SSD lifestyle.
I reckon that console was the death of Microsoft, but the death of Xbox.
It was fine. It was fucking like for 11 years ago or whatever.
It was awful.
It wasn't good. I don't know about awful. I had a lot of fun on my Xbox One. Played a lot of games on my Xbox One. I wouldn't want to go back to it now, though.
You can have a lot of fun on someone else, and they can still be awful.
And they're probably about 15 as well.
MintSafe says PS5 Pro.
Glad you went 15 and not 11.
Hang on, I'm going to move us forward. MintSafe says PS5 Pro, complete waste of time and money? ? I mean, we're pretty much discussing that MintSafe, so. Derek Sign says, greedy devs indeed. Now we know the eye-watering price of the new PS5 Pro console across all regions. I am for the first time giving serious consideration to a PC gaming future as opposed to playing games on console only. My current PC is not built for video games, but I am hearing on several podcasts how relatively easy it is now to change that situation. I know that Neil and Dave have already succumbed to the PC gaming lure, but Fraser not so much. Derek, how long have you listened to this podcast? I don't think I've hardly played on a console for 10 years.
Apart from the Switch.
Actually, I've been I've diving recently. Probably that's Derek's hearing me talk a little bit more about the PlayStation. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm huge PC. Huge. I've built like 8 now. Huge. The way console gaming is going means the PC master race is poised to welcome in lots of new converts, unless they buy the Nintendo Switch successor, of course. So here's your chance, Neil and Dave. Convince me and your millions of listeners how the future of video games lies in the laps of the PC gods. Let the convincing begin, if you can be bothered, he says.
It's going to cost a lot more than a PS5 Pro, I'm afraid.
PC gaming requires, I think we sort of touched on this anyway, PC gaming requires a little bit of administration, shall we say. It's not straightforward. But you can buy a PC off the shelf and get into some really decent gaming. And you have an upgrade path should you choose.
If you go buy the right PC, you don't want to be buying like a, I don't know. I think it's better nowadays, to be fair. But like,
I built my first. I'll tell you what. I built my first PC in 2012, I think it was, and my son is still using the same case. He's still using the same power supply, and he's onto his second in that case, now we're onto the third graphics card, and we've changed drives and whatever. So
it's like Trigger's broom. Apart from the outside.
Yeah, exactly. It's the PC of Theseus, right? It's not straightforward, but it's not as bad as it used to be either.
It's pretty straightforward. It's not like getting a console, obviously, but you can put things in quite easily now.
It's better. It's getting better. It's better. I can tell you hands down, having built PCs for 15 years, it's hands down better than it ever was. It's still similar, but it's better than it ever was. Things are playing nicer with each other. My advice has always been, if you want to build a PC, if you feel you want to if you feel like you want to build a PC, you can do it. That's the bottom line, right?
There's so much out there to like YouTube videos and fucking whatever.
Yeah, you just need to do a little bit of, it can be overwhelming. Anybody who's built a PC will jump at the chance to help you.
Who was talking about the paralysis of choice or whatever? Was that Derek the other week? Because that's a problem potentially. It's affecting PCs.
That's a problem. But at the same time, you can set out your budget, and if you build your first PC, like I'm saying, once you start reusing parts and get onto that train, I mean, my case is I'm into my second iteration with my case and power supply and all that, same as my son. I just upgraded my graphics card. I think I upgraded my graphic card. I think I did everything this year. I can't remember. But I bought a 4060. I don't think my CPU. I'm all completely.
You ain't
bang
getting
for
4K gaming on that though. Like that,
No, I 1080p game. I'm not interested in the latest and greatest. I can run 4K stuff probably if I want to.
You'd be able to Blatra at 4K.
Easy peasy. But look, no, it's doable if you want to do it and you're up for it, and you think.
The big benefit of PC gaming is your choice of where you purchase everything, as in software. You've got Steam, you've got Epic Games, like the big storefronts, the alternatives to like the traditional marketplaces of Xbox and PlayStation, but you've got all these third-party resellers. Some legit, some less legit. So your conscience may guide you in where you purchase things from, but you can definitely pick up software super cheap. There's ways around it on Xbox. I know you can change your region and stuff like that. So that is
I
kind of an option.
I honestly believe, hand on heart, that we are approaching a future where somebody is going to sort out a modular console that is upgradable on the fly. Not you have to buy a whole new fucking console, right?
But
my CPU.
PlayStation believe in generations, Fraser. It's not going to be them.
Well, PlayStation can.
Although that was the last guy.
I know. I truly believe that that's the way forward. At some point, we're going to get third-party sellers who are just running Steam OS or Xbox OS or whatever it may be, and that's going to be the future. And that will be your upgrade path. A modular system that can be upgraded.
What's going to happen, right? What's going to happen to Steam when Gabe passes? Because he's quite old now. I saw a picture of him today. I was like, he's looking a little bit old. He's lost loads of weight, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the weight loss that made him look loads older, because that tends to happen. But, I mean, he's got less time probably left than he has had. So, what happens when Gabe goes? I don't know. I don't know. He looks quite old.
Well,
what would you say if you bought your PS5 for 500 quid or whatever it was, then in 4 years' time, they say, well, you can change your graphics card. Oh, and you can change CPU. Right. Well, how much is that? Well, you can have a new graphics card for 700 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. Could have just bought fucking PS5 Pro. So what point do they...
I'd definitely spend 700 quid on a graphics
for it
card
to actually work. How are they going to make that work? If they said, right, the next one, you can take this out and put that in. And then they say, oh, well, you can have this graphics card, 700 quid. You just think, hang on a minute.
Well, it'd be good if there's a £700 option, but there's also a £150 option, then that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's not going to be any better than what you've already got in it, is it?
Well,
you just spent 500 quid on a new...
Yeah, but you've just pulled that number from the air, though, haven't you?
Yeah, but how much is a graphics card?
Depends what you want it to do.
Point. Like if PlayStation can... But that's not the point. The point is, I mean, if PlayStation can do bulk buying and say, right, in 2025, right? So say somebody brings out a console and it's got a little module that you can pull out, right? And that's your processor or whatever like that. Well, if PlayStation can say, right, well, we're here's the new upgrade. It's coming out, and it's in a on a hook on a wall in GameStop when you go, if GameStop even exists, and you take it off and you go, you pay $200 for it.
It's got AMD written on it.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be that high.
Graphics card. But so how are they going to justify 1,500 quid for a PC graphics card if Sony are selling them for 200 quid?
Well, it's not the same purchasing.
Well, I don't understand how it's going to work. Well, it's got to be, innit? It's got to be an upgrade to what you've already got.
Right.
If it's not an upgrade.
Right. Okay. But if you approach it from the fact that everything is equal, which it isn't, right? PlayStation knows they're going to sell 30 million of them, right? And they can trot down the road and say, I want go make us these. We're going to buy, here's a purchase order for 30 million of them. We're not paying top dollar. We're going to pay low dollar, right? I mean, when you
I
buy
don't
your
know how that
when you
works then. How many 3080s have they sold?
Not
nowhere near
Yeah,
as many as
still, it's a lot
PlayStations.
though.
What? Not
No.
they haven't sold like 20 million of them.
No, because PC spec, average PC spec is definitely lower than console spec. According to Steam, usually.
But how many do they sell? They're off the
Fuck knows.
shelf.
Nvidia
All
doing
these
okay,
companies-
but I think that's AI related rather
Right.
than graphics card
But
related.
are they selling 60 million of these graphics cards? Or are they selling
Thing is,
5 million?
There's fucking so many.
Because then they're not bothered. Why would Sony even be bothered about PCs if there's... Everyone says about all these... Everybody's going PC. Well, they're not selling 150 million of these graphics cards to put in your PC.
That's because there's
But they're
about
selling
150 million
150
different graphics cards to buy.
But what is the percentage of PC players? Nerds who've got podcasts have all got a PC, but
Not everyone.
if you go down my street and knock on a door and find out how many people, 30 people are playing video games, 25 of them are on a console.
Right. So the console manufacturers have real pull with the manufacturers, right? With the chip manufacturers, with whoever, they can place massive orders, get massive discount, buy in huge bulk. I mean, I don't know. We're just speculating and spitballing here, so we don't know.
Yeah, I just don't see where the maths comes in for being able to flog you a better graphics card than what you've already got in your PlayStation for a couple £100. I can't ever see that being a thing.
I don't think the way they placed the
PS5
PS5 Pro would suggest they would not be charging £200.
Yeah.
So, in fact, proprietary hardware in history, like that is equivalent to a PC. For example, the SSD that you plug in the back of the Xbox is a lot more expensive than an equivalent PC purchase.
I mean, it's a good point Neil raises. I mean, it's not like Sony have ever overcharged for proprietary items, is it?
No, definitely not.
What was the big one? The memory sticks for the PSP
fucking
or something?
All of it. Oh, the fucking... What about the media?
When they were doing cameras,
mini
for
discs.
fuck's sake. Memory sticks for cameras for Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we're fucking memory
5 times more than a fucking
memory cards for the PS
little
Vita.
SD card.
We're shooting our arguments down in flames as we speak.
Well, you're shooting your argument down.
Well, yeah.
Your idea of modular consoles.
I believe it. I believe in the Steam box.
I don't, because I just think it's cheaper for every 5 years just spend £700 on a new console and you'd be done with it. No one's going to be taking them fucking things apart and putting in bits and pieces.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying it has to be, but it has to be easy as well. That's my caveat, right? It has to be easy. It has to be so
press a button
can
and
do
a big thing comes out, and you put a new big thing in.
Just drunk, pull out a module, boom, put the other module back in, and you're good to go. Right? That's the only way it'll work because there's too many Muppets out there. Anyway, moving on.
Good luck with your new PC, Derek.
Tap up Neil and Dave for any information you want.
Razor's built more than either of us two, to be fair.
I only play consoles, mate. All right, let's move on. Let's move on then to what we've been doing. I don't see anything in the notes from anyone except myself.
Yeah, I watched Slow Horses and I've booked a smart meter installation. Woo, exciting.
For what? Your
smart
electric?
meter, yeah. And gas. Why? Because I can access different tariffs. And obviously, eventually, probably going to have an electric car to charge, which is where smart meters really come in.
Hang on.
Eventually, I said, not anytime soon.
I'll tell you now, all three of us would be fucking dead before we buy an electric car. Fraser's never going to have an electric. Fraser, come on. Are you thinking about it, Fraser? Thinking about it, are you, mate? Getting close. Electric car. Come on.
I'm thinking about it.
It's only six years until you can't buy an old one. Well, new anyway.
I said that once my car goes, I would probably buy electric. But
Audi and BMW have started making petrol cars again.
Oh yeah.
Because they can't sell the bloody things. Yeah. They've gone to the EU and said, get stuffed. We can't sell cars. We can't make any money. We're making petrol cars again.
Yeah. Well, the market will take care of itself.
Not before we've finished driving.
Probably
20 years, Fraser. How old are you? 50 something? 20 years.
Yeah,
we won't be buying electric cars.
I'm not making 20 years. Not at this
Wow,
rate.
shut up.
Not with the stress you put me under.
Not to do me.
Not with the stress my car puts me under.
Holy shit, I've just seen what you've been playing.
So I went out this morning, take the dog for a walk at 7 a.m. I'm like, and I thought, I was walking back to my house and I was like, are my lights on? And I did a double take and I realized my lights were on my car. Now, I didn't leave my lights on. What happens is you've set it to auto, and then sometimes for no real reason, the car in the middle of the night just goes, I'm going to put the fucking lights on. And so it just puts the lights on. And a part of me finds it quite funny because every one of my fucking cars has done it. I don't understand what it is. I was saying to my wife, I don't know whether Jaguars go out at night or something like that. Are they nocturnal or something? But
well, it's a cat, isn't it? Probably is.
It's a cat, right? Yeah, I mean, they go out hunting for whatever.
Has you ever found it looks like bring a big pile of dead mice next to you?
Yeah, and normally
a load of Nissan Micras outside.
Anyway, it's happened a few times, and my neighbor has been kind enough to give me a knock on the door and say your lights are on and whatever. So normally I never left them on auto, but anyway, I left them on auto, and last night the lights were on and my battery went dead. So I trickle charged my battery this morning. Went to go start the car, it wouldn't recognize the key fob. Then then somebody was saying that there's a second battery in the car. Of course, I mean, why wouldn't there be a second battery at the front which controls some sort of module or whatever, which is, I don't know, the brain.
Have you secretly got an electric car?
I have an electric car. Who would believe it? So then I ended up having to I tried to charge it from the other car, boost it, nothing was happening, and then I ended up just basically disconnecting all the electrics and basically resetting the car. And it seems to have fixed it, but I got the trickle charger back on the battery to make sure that my battery is okay. I wonder whether it's a battery problem.
Which battery are you charging?
Tomorrow. The main one. I don't even know where the other one is. I have no idea. I think it's in a door.
Is it like that one you've got on your motherboard on your computer? There's like the little coin-sized battery.
Cell, yeah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, the guy said it. I mean, it could be just a tiny battery. Who knows? Like a little lithium.
Could be anywhere if it's that size.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just pisses me off. Cars.
You love it though, don't you? You love your car.
Yeah, no, I do love my cars. They're an absolute ball ache. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's got a Discovery, and he's just fucking losing his mind over it. But he's not mechanically minded.
He's got a lot of money, has he?
He must have, because he does things like, a lot of these cars, like the ones, particularly the last couple I have, if something goes wrong and the car thinks that it's in danger, right, then it goes into what's called restricted mode or a limp mode. And I mean, most of my cars have had them, and I don't know if you guys have those on your cars or not, right?
I've got it on mine.
But the thing is, when it goes into restricted mode, the main thing is just not to panic, right? It's just like, it's got a problem. It doesn't want to damage itself. So you just sort of just go figure it out, right? And most of the time, it's just a blip or whatever. But
you just have to turn it off and turn it on again, and it's usually fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. A lot of
this
the time
is what happened.
Right?
I swear this is what happened in the Qashqai. I was driving it, and I was like, something feels properly fucking fucked up with my car. It was like the revs were low compared to the speed. I was like, the revs aren't normally this low when I'm driving this speed. And it just didn't feel right. So I pulled over, on the motorway, called the RAC out. And when he gets there, he's like, I had a quick look at it. He's like, oh, turn it on, drive up and down, in the thing, reverse it and fuck it in the fucking safe bay or whatever that we were in. He's like, how's it feel? I was like, feels fine. I was like, it definitely wasn't fucking fine there when I called you. He was like, well, I'll follow you, go to the next junction. I'll stay behind you. I'll drive home behind. I'll make sure you get home. And we drove all the way home. It was fucking fine. I was like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. It was fucked. It was like definitely fucking wrong with it.
Yeah, I think they just get a blip, right? I think there's stuff like, I read. So we had a throttle body problem on one of the cars, and basically what happens if the throttle body signal gets corrupted for whatever reason, right, which is basically just telling the car how fast to go, its automatic response is to just shut down, right, to put everything into restricted mode, to basically not let you go nuts, right? And that is a pure safety function, right? And you know why? Because back in the day, Audi, when their throttle bodies fucked up, the whole thing accelerated and fucking plowed people into brick walls, right? So you can thank Audi for that. But it's a safety thing, right? And if something interferes with a sensor on the ABS. It's going to turn everything off, right? It can't rely on the sensors being whatever. So, I mean, cars are massively complicated. But at the same time, they're remarkably simple too. Like pretty much, unless your engine is overheating, just fucking drive it. Who gives a shit, right? I mean, it's going to be, it'll get you home, right?
Eventually.
It's if your engine is overheating, that's a problem.
Yeah,
you know,
if there's
or
water pissing out, if it's on fire, maybe you might want to stop
yeah,
and
if it's
pull
on
over.
fire or there's some massive squealing or something or whatever, or there's sparks.
Or like,
flying
oh,
out.
the brakes
I mean,
actually, the brake discs shatter or something. Maybe you might
consider
not want to
pulling
drive
over,
home.
but most of the time, like I don't know. Although
Just
I did see a
fucking
lady,
carry
I
on.
saw a lady the other day. Her tire was flat, and she was
Just
coming
carry on
towards
driving.
me. She was coming towards me, and it's horrendous noise as she's driving basically on the rim. And I was like,
Did
"Oh
you go
shit!"
wind the window to go and say, "Excuse me, love, you got a flat tire there"?
I was
That's
walking.
all right.
No, I tell you,
It's not on
I did.
fire.
Well, she went past me, and then she obviously realized something wasn't right, and so she turned around and came back past me, and I tried to flag her down, which was like, you need to stop driving on that, right? That's not a good sound. You're just, But she just ignored me, probably fearing for her life, and just.
Yeah, you do look quite scary.
She went right down the road, turned around, and I could hear her just going. From miles off. I'm like,
you knew where she lived.
That's beginning to sound expensive. You're in for more than just the tire now.
That's a new wheel, new alloy. Yeah. One alloy, then you need 4 alloys because one of them's going to look different to all the others.
So yeah. Anyway, cars.
Love 'em.
Apart from that, yeah, cars, continuous problem. Yeah, I've been watching Shogun. I think we're close. I think we're right near the end of it. We got about one more to go. Did you watch that, Pilch? Did you?
It's okay.
Ooh.
It's a big old bag of okay, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I think it's.
There were some good bits in it, but I don't know. It just seemed to drag on a bit.
Like
all I want to do now.
His accent was annoying as fuck.
What, the English guy?
And I still couldn't, even after the end, I couldn't get grasp.
Don't spoilers.
No. There's no story. He's Dutch.
No,
was he?
He's English. The guy, isn't he?
He's English.
No, right. He's not.
Is he not?
Right.
No, they speaking when he's speaking English, they're actually speaking Portuguese. I've got that bit from about 2 episodes.
Right. So he's speaking. Yeah, but I just couldn't. I think. Hang on a minute. When he's speaking to them, they're Japanese. When he's speaking in English, he's speaking in Portuguese.
Yes, I've got that bit.
Is that right?
I've only watched 2 episodes.
And I just
kept
thinking. That. Yeah, but I couldn't. I keep getting. Why the fuck is he speaking English? Why is the English people couldn't understand?
No, because the English, they haven't encountered English people.
Speaking English. I know, but I just kept thinking, why can't they understand him? Because they're speaking English.
Well, it'd have been even more complicated if they were speaking Portuguese and Japanese.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
What? I don't understand what you're talking about. I haven't noticed anything like that.
Right.
What are you talking about? The thing is,
they're speaking in English.
Who's speaking in English?
When they are speaking in English, they're actually speaking Portuguese.
They're actually Portuguese. They're not speaking English.
Oh, right.
Because they've encountered the Portuguese.
It's English to us, but he is speaking Portuguese.
The Portuguese are Portuguese, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but they speak in English.
But they're speaking in English so we can understand it.
Oh, they're
not
English
so they can understand it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're all the people that are speaking in English. As far as the Japanese are concerned, they're speaking Portuguese.
Yes.
Because the girl who's translating is translating from Japanese to Portuguese.
And into English.
But we're listening to it in English. It doesn't make fucking sense. So, hang on, what?
Yeah, you could be right there. I'm not going to overthink that.
I am right.
Yeah, when they speak English, they are basically speaking
Japanese
Portuguese.
Is speaking Portuguese.
Yes.
But
they're actually speaking English.
Program. Yeah, they're speaking English.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, this. I don't know. I'm not getting something.
I think you're thinking about it too much. I think you were thinking about it too much. You obviously got a bit of a cob on about that, and it's just that's all you could concentrate on.
This little Japanese man comes on and goes, "Oh, lady, can you just translate Portuguese, please?" And then she starts speaking English.
You'd just be reading subtitles the whole time, otherwise.
Well, I think that probably would have been better.
Maybe. But then you'd have had to get Portuguese actors in.
I suppose so.
Yeah, those Portuguese
Anyway,
actors.
it was all right. It was a bit slow, There were some good bits in it.
How
Some
many
of the
series are
battles
there?
and but it's only one.
Is it?
I
Only
think they're
one.
making another
Is it
one.
really?
I think they are making another one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I
think
could
so.
watch that.
Ted Lasso's coming back again.
Oh God.
What's that, about 8
Making another
series?
Ted Lasso. That was announced the other week.
But it's probably their big money maker. isn't it?
And why didn't you talk about Schmigadoon 2?
You know why?
Fraser? Schmicago. Because he hasn't got Apple TV. has he?
No, it's
I
because
haven't
shit.
watched it. I started to watch it and I was like, I'm not doing this.
I watched the 2 episodes and thought, nah, I'm done with that.
No, it was fine. It was fun the first time round. It was something different. I don't need to eat that meal again.
We've got Apple
exactly.
TV back.
Why bother?
On the like, obviously I've watched a load of stuff on Apple TV in the past. Obviously we're currently watching Slow Horses, so that's always like top of front of the queue. And there's like all the stuff that I stopped watching on Apple TV over the years. And it's like as you go further to the right on the thing, is the longer obviously since you've watched it. Schmigadoon's well past, like well on the right.
There is not a lot on there.
But
I
what
only
is
ever
the
get
good?
it when it's free.
It's usually decent, even if you don't like it. It's a good quality for people who do like that kind of shit. So I've got.
There's a couple of.
You watched that Bad Monkey on there? Is it Bad Monkey?
One?
Vince Vaughn.
Monkey.
He's your man, Vince Vaughn. You like Vince Vaughn,
You
don't
keep
you?
saying that. I don't know where that comes from.
You say you were going on about how good he was. You liked him.
What's your price?
I like him. Don't get me wrong. I think he's all right. I don't recall saying
I don't
how
know
good
who
he
he
is.
is.
He's your favourite. He's your favourite.
Should I marry him?
Well, I don't know about. I didn't go that far. Speak to your wife about that. Maybe you could have an open relationship when it comes to Vince Vaughn.
With Vince, yeah, I'll ask her tonight. I'll say, Grace, would you be okay if I had an
Is
open
anyone
relationship
watching
with Vince Vaughn?
not Lord of the Rings? What's the other one?
Rings of Power.
Rings
House
of
of
Power.
Dragons. Oh yeah, Rings of Power. Yeah, that was
watched House of
quite
Dragons.
good.
I watched the first 2 episodes.
You're not watching that. They all look the same.
Rings of Power.
Who?
It's horrendous. All the characters.
In what? Rings of Power? Oh, okay. I haven't watched the second series yet, so.
They're all elves. You're just being elvist.
Am I? Okay. Apart from that, I'm just getting old, mate. I'll watch something and I think I have not fucking got a clue what I'm watching here.
Oh, mate, we're getting so old. We got no idea anymore.
The Boys. I've watched all of The Boys. That was still. That's pretty good.
I've not watched any of that.
Fucking. It's
have crazy.
You not seen
any
and
of it?
And,
no.
Oh, you should definitely watch the first series.
It's over the top, completely crazy. And the characters in it are just fantastic, though. So good.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's shit.
Maybe one day.
It's
shit, but yeah, it's good.
It's rubbish. It's nothing to it, is it? It's shit. But it's so good. It's just ridiculous.
It's got to be better than the shit my wife watches.
So over the top.
She's on Emily in Paris and bloody Grey's Anatomy. Believe it or not, it's got another fucking series coming. Fuck off, Grey's Anatomy.
Of course it has. They dredge up everything.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What a bit. Rom Romesh, do you watch any of that?
Nah, should do.
On Sky?
Don't watch hardly anything on
funny.
Sky.
That is hilarious.
What have they been doing? They've been SWAT team or something, is it? Something stupid.
They did. What did they do last?
What were they dressed up in armour for?
Oh, because they were doing stunt. They were being
stuntmen, right?
Yeah, that was funny. That is really good, actually. It's so because they're totally different characters, and they just rub each other up.
I feel like there was a time in my life that I just watched nothing but comedy, and now I hardly watch any comedy. Maybe that's where I need to find.
There's not a lot though. There's no sitcoms or anything anymore, is there? There's nothing.
It's like panel shows and fucking. What's the thing? I didn't know.
What's that thing where they do countdown? Cat Stars Countdown.
Yeah.
All them sort of programs, they've got the same people in every single fucking program. You watch something.
It's because there's only about 12 funny people in the whole country.
Yeah, there's 3 of them are in that, and you think it's literally the same fucking thing. And so,
yeah,
I don't watch a lot of telly now. Only Connect. That's my favourite program.
Really?
Other than
how many times do you answer a question in that?
Well, funny you should ask that. I normally get 3 or 4.
Out of how many is there in a show? But then, to be fair, I don't think the people in the show get more than 3 or 4 either.
12, 16. There's about 25 questions a week in that show, and I get about 3-ish. Sometimes none.
That's pretty good.
Sometimes, if I've got 3, I've done well.
Yeah. It's a bit obtuse, isn't it? It's a bit hard.
Yeah.
I have not watched that much.
If you watch it enough, you can get the patterns, because a lot of things are recurring. So you can, it's like them one of them games you play, them bloody, like, the room game things. What's them things like, no, the video game quizzy, they're like puzzles. I don't like them because I ain't got no... The puzzle games where you... Things, I don't know what they're called. Journey, no, that's not one, is it? They're all a rage a couple of 3 years ago. You do little puzzles each time. You do a puzzle and then you move to the next one. You do a puzzle.
There's The Room, like 4 versions of The Room, which is basically like a puzzle game.
I can't remember what they were called.
That's like little puzzle boxes.
Once you play them enough, you can learn the patterns.
Yeah.
And then it makes it easier. Once you get the logic of how they're doing the puzzles, and that only connects the same. Once you realise the sequence of what they're trying to get you to guess, eventually you start guessing them anyway.
Well, I never had you down as an only connect.
And she's got huge tits, so. Which helps.
Of course.
She's not sitting there with her tits out the whole time.
Well, they're there.
All right, on that bombshell. Do we have any?
Fraser's frozen. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back. What happened there?
I'm back, but Craig's gone.
Oh, something. Was it a Discord problem?
Maybe let's call Craig back in.
Did he send you a message? Oh, an error occurred, it says. Oh. Did you get a recording?
No. It says failed to connect at 6 o'clock.
Yes, it connected earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, we may have lost that. We'll figure it out anyway.
Well, you might have to rip it off of Twitch and YouTube and shit. Because I haven't been recording manually. Well, he's definitely here now.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's move on then to what we've been playing before everything else goes wrong on Friday the 13th. I've just got a note from my wife saying that her car's broken down.
Oh my god, the
Rover! You can't write this shit, can you?
The Rover.
Oh jeez. All right, let's move on then to what we've been playing. Neil.
Well, I've played quite a few games, but I only played a little bit of most of them. Played more Cult of the Lamb. I got a little bit further with me roguelike progress. Gained a few followers. Had to bury my first follower. They passed away, so I buried them. And now you unlock funerals and stuff, like ritual funerals, to like gain you more stuff. But I've kind of stopped playing it because other things I've started playing. I'm like, nah, I might go back to it. But Cult of the Lamb got played briefly. Another brief one. A new snooker game came out on the PS5. A new snooker game. So I was like, oh, snooker. I'll have a go at that. It's made by the same people who made Snooker Nation, Pool Nation, Cherry Pop games. They make it's free to play on PS5. It's not available on Steam. I think it's on Xbox and Switch. So it's a bit shit, really. It's really
your list is really hitting home today.
Snooker is... I haven't played Snooker 19, the actual snooker game, for quite a while, to be fair. But you had real people, didn't you? You had avatars of actual... Like, they had real models of real people when they were playing the game. Like, they were bending over the table and playing shots. Whereas this has got, like, a large orb with, like, glasses and stuff. Not actually holding the cue or anything as your opponent. When you play, it's like a first-person view. And you can do all the snooker stuff. You can change the angle of the cue and all that shit. But the problem big problem, was the actual queuing action was like either didn't seem to fucking register that I'd pressed forward, or even when I didn't want it to press forward, it pressed forward. I was like, for fuck's sake. So I was playing shots when I didn't want to play them, and it was not playing shots when I wanted to play them. So I was like, yeah, probably uninstall this. But it's weird because it's like free to play. Obviously, you can buy red gems for real cash and all that sort of shit, and then convert your red gems into purple fucking cards, blue cards, yellow cards, all this shit to get loads of cosmetics. But the actual gameplay, it looks like you're playing against a real person, but I don't know if you are, because I only played one game, and it was my first game, and the person I played apparently had already played a game, but I absolutely fucking destroyed them. They were shit. And I was like, they can't be a real person. They are so bad. It's like...
Well, the first video I pulled up on it was something going on about how dreadful the AI is. And it just can't get out of a snookered position. It just
I didn't even get into snookers. They couldn't fucking... They pop... Like, the first few shots they take were just like whiff, whiff, whiff. Completely missed the pot. And then they'd go like... I went like red, black, red or whatever, and then fucking went out of position because the fucking... took a shot when I didn't want to take a shot. That kind of shit was going on. And then they just like pot a red, and then it would go up the other end of the table, and they might jaw the yellow. And it's just like, they're fucking terrible. But it's like weird. It makes it look like you're playing against real people. Because like you can look at their profile, like their PlayStation Network profiles and stuff. I was like, is this a real person or not? I don't know. It feels like they were shit. So shit, it can't have been a real person.
Possibly be, yeah.
But maybe it's, I don't know. I was just like, honestly, I've probably given it more time than it justifies. I don't think I'll be playing it again. Unless someone can tell me that it's actually decent. But it looks like it has tournaments in it, and you can play against real people in tournaments, and there's the qualifying rounds, but it's all like, if you buy this queue, it's got better action, better power. I'm like, this sounds like pay to win to me. I didn't look into it too far, because I was like, this looks a bit sus. All looks a little bit sus. You can spend 80 quid on gems. I'm like, that's always a bit of a red flag for me.
Oh, yeah.
A free-to-play game, a snooker game, where you can pay 80 quid for some gems, which you can spend on cosmetics. I'm like, it's not that fucking good. So, it's a no from me, I think.
Avoid.
Well, it's free. So you might be able to play with your friends in a 1v1. I don't know. I haven't tried that. But maybe you could... Oh, no, you haven't got PlayStation Network, so I don't know. Well, it's a free... Do you have to have PSN, PS Plus to play a free-to-play multiplayer? I don't know. Is it just Fortnite, basically, that you don't need PS Plus or something like that?
No, I think most free-to-plays... You can play Warzone, can't you? But you can't play COD, so...
Okay.
I think most free-to-plays are... Yeah, you don't need PS... or
Xbox
Live.
Live.
What the Game Pass thing's called. Yeah, Xbox Live.
Well, Xbox Game Pass Core, whatever it's fucking called now.
Yeah, because they just brought that one out, haven't they?
Yeah.
That little chestnut. Yeah, as long as it's free to play, you don't need any subscription at all. But,
well, there we go.
Shouldn't need any, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing you don't have to pay for on PC. No PS Plus or Xbox Live.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't paid for Xbox Live for years because I get it free with every time I say free. It cost me £200 a month for me EE TV and broadband, but I get that free, which is nice of them.
Yes, I should fucking hope so. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a little go on Star Trucker, the new space trucking game that's on Game Pass and other areas where if you want to pay for it.
Dave said it was all right.
It is all right. I can't remember how much he played. Did he say he did anything after the first kind of introductory mission? Because like, it's quite straightforward. The first thing you do is like, pick up your fucking cargo, and it's all very easy because you're all aligned up to everything, and it's dead easy. And I got to the point where I dropped off my first cargo. I docked into a space station, which you have to like reverse, use your fucking docking camera. So I was like, I fucking can't remember if I've got a plan. When you're turning right and left and shit like that. It's all fucked up to like back in. But I got there in the end. That wasn't too hard. And then I picked up a mission to take some cargo to this other place. You have to go to these 2 space jumps. So you go to the space jump port. You have to stop when it powers up. And if you're not in quite the right place, it won't power up enough. So you have to be in the right place and all that shit. And then you look up in your cab and you pull the fucking lever like Han Solo and you go through a fucking hyperspace to the next bit. And you have to do 2 jumps, get to the new bit, and then you have to get at a waypoint on your. It's quite good. Like it shows you where you're supposed to go, but I mean it shows you in space. Like, but you can't get there because you have to go around all these fucking space station stuff and all that. And the second thing I had to do was reverse my fucking cargo into a bay to drop it off. And I'm like, I understand reversing trailers and how you have to like basically reverse the wrong way that you would normally do to make the trailer turn the correct way that you want it to go. I understand that, which is fine on a road where the tyres are in contact with the road. But when you're in 3-dimensional space and you're having to do the vertical aspect as well at the same time, I was like, fucking hell, I can't get this fucking thing to go. It was like, it would be going in fine, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh no, I've gone too far up, and now I'm going, it's like the container's fucking smacking into the space station, and you get fined and all. I was like, this is driving me fucking nuts. It took me fucking about half an hour to just reverse park the fucking cargo into the bay that I had to put it in. I was like, this is too hard. I'm like, I can't be asked to get good enough at this. It's like, it's not rewarding enough. Because it's basically just going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, basically, by the sound of it. It was like, you looked at the upgrade tree, it's like, you can unlock just-in-time missions, so you have to get your shit there quick, or you can do fragile stuff, which is obviously it's worth more money. So, and you're like, you have to buy fuel. And when I'd done my first mission, and then it's like, I walked around, because you get out the seat of your cab and you can walk around your little cab. The first thing you have to do basically is get out of the seat and fucking go out and just do a spacewalk and repair some leaks on your cab. So there's a lot to it. There's quite a lot of game there if you're into that kind of stuff. But I'd rather play Elite Dangerous, I think. It's like,
if you're going to be in space, might as well
do a spaceship rather than fucking why would you do that? Why would you have a fucking space rig? You would have a spaceship with stuff inside it. Or like Starfield, you can play cargo in, but you don't have to worry about reverse parking a fucking trailer. I was like, why have they done that? If you just had to drive through something to drop it off all the time, it'd probably be alright. But that whole reverse section, I was like, this is fucking driving me nuts. Took far too long. But yeah, like I say, at the end of the day, it's like Elite Basic, I guess. But if you're 70% of the way to Elite, you might as well just play Elite because it's better.
All right.
So that's Star Trucker. Probably uninstalled it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Does anyone else want to go?
Yeah, sure. Pilch, you got any games you want to talk about?
I've got a couple. I played them ages ago, so I'm trying to remember what they were even called. Immortals of Avium.
Avium,
I think. Yeah. That was. Well, I'm assuming it was a game, but I haven't bought a game.
It was EA Play, technically, I think.
Oh, was it? Okay. So this is a linear open world, so you can wander a little bit, but basically they direct you where you've got to go. You start off. It's a shooter, and you start off. There's this little village that some aliens come down, or gods, or whatever they are. They come down and you, as usual, destroy half of your little village, and one of your friends gets killed, and so you sort of a revenge. I've got to come and get these people type thing, usual stories. But so you are picked up by some other god type person. You've got these powers that you don't know what you to do with them, or why you've got them, but you've got these powers, and so you turn into a usual apprentice, and someone picks you up and says, right, come with us, you're one of these special people, come and we'll train you to beat the big bad boss. So you basically work your way through. They give you you've got 3 different types of coloured powers basically, and these 3 powers do different types of things, and it's very puzzle based. There's a bit of shooting, but it's all to do with getting different little orbs and things, and you can move things if you depending on what color. Like you get a thing in your arm, and you can. It's hard to describe. So you select which of these 3 things or different coloured weapons you want to use, and depending on which one you've got, you can move different things, move platforms or freeze things, or just the usual. So you can progress around the world, and so you have to collect. You start off at the beginning, and you've got this tiny little blue orb thing on your hand, and they go, "Oh, go and see so and so." And he'll show you how to use that. But when you have to get there, you have to go across the map. You meet a few enemies. You come across a couple of little puzzles that you have to try and progress through with this blue thing. And then when you get there, they go, "Oh, hello, here's another one," and off you go to the next one. It's all right, but there's not a lot of. It's quite a pretty game.
This is Unreal Engine
It's the
5,
usual
so it
same
should
old
look nice.
story, though. It's the same as every other game. To defeat the boss, you've got to get all the powers, but you can't get them powers until you've progressed through to get to a certain part of the map. Well, you can't get there because you can't jump across there. Oh, but when you go and get this, you can then go back there and you can jump across there. It's I don't know. It's just another Game Pass game. I played it for about 7 hours, I think.
Oof,
which is
It's not
not a
nothing.
bad amount of time. Yeah, but nothing really seemed to happen, and then the things were getting more and more complicated. All the enemies are pretty much the same, and it's a bit to and fro-y. You're not really following a story because you're going, "Oh, go and see so and so," and then you have to speak to him. Oh, but when you get there, all the baddies are coming, and you have to destroy them
like
before you can
Destiny,
speak to
is
the
that what you're saying?
bloke, and then yeah. Yeah, so finish that little instance before you can talk to him, and then head back the way you come, and then you meet another load of. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. It's a bag of all right.
It's Wizard of Duty, is it?
It's
Call of Magic.
Call of Duty Magic. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't seem to I can't seem to stick to these things anymore. I'd play a game like that, and I'd play it 15 hours and finish it. Whether it's because you're not paying for them anymore, so you just think, oh, okay, I've had me fill. Let's move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, it's easily throw away, right?
But if you'd have paid 40 quid for it, you would play it, wouldn't you?
Well,
Yeah, if you
this
had
was
less,
something
20,
happened with
30 hours
this,
and
didn't
finish
it?
it.
Because this was did this?
It was something to do with was it something to do with Battlegrounds? Was cool. What's that thing you fucking played? Stupid game.
PUBG.
PUBG. Yeah, it was something to do with PUBG originally, I think,
Is
and
it?
they made a game out of it.
What's
It
it
was
called
just
again?
Immortals of Avium.
Mm.
So I write it into the show notes for you.
I'll do it. It's all right.
It's a pretty game.
It does look
It
nice.
ran lovely, and it was sounded good, but it's just a bit samey. Once you get the 3 different types of weapon, and you just sort of select, you sort of roll around. Sometimes you have to, a bit like God of War, where you would have to have one. You'd use one weapon to set something in motion, and then you have to quickly change to the next coloured orb to then move something else on top of that. So that would, do you know what I mean? There's always you got to do a sequence of things to get to progress to the next, to open a door to progress.
So there's like little sort of puzzles based on your powers, I guess. Or not
Yeah.
mixing up your powers.
But
Yeah,
I think
it looks
was
nice.
just getting, just got too. If I can't just shoot something and run somewhere else and shoot something else, I get a little bit frustrated if I have to think about it now. Can't be asked to think. I haven't got time to think about things anymore.
You've got nothing but time these days, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's what you do with your time, isn't it?
Yeah. I ain't got time to waste.
No, I ain't got time to waste doing things I don't want to do. There's plenty of things I do want to do. So it's good. It's not a bad game. Like I say, 7 odd hours is still a fair lick.
Solid
Probably
6 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a bang average game, and if you've got nothing else to play, then it's going to give you 15, 20 hours of enjoyment. But there's always something else, isn't there? The next day, you turn it on and think, oh, hang on a minute, here comes another one. Let's just download that. I think I've downloaded about 30 games in the last couple of weeks, and I've only played one.
Yeah.
So,
spoiled.
We know what that is.
Do you want me to do another one? I've only got 2,
Sure.
so
yeah,
2
go
more.
ahead.
Protocol, the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
I know the name. I've seen
this was like Dead Space. This is the guy that made Dead Space, I think. What's his name?
Yeah,
Greg something?
I think it's literally a sort of a spin-off from it. This was actually good. You start in a your spaceship crashes, and you get imprisoned in a I don't know whether it's in space or whether it's on a planet, because I haven't got out of it yet. But basically, you have to escape from the prison. And it's just another shooter and run and shoot, and it's quite. It looks good. So that's the trouble with these games. A lot of them look good, but there's just nothing. Doesn't seem nothing to them anymore.
Dull.
Are
they just dull?
Yeah,
just
they don't do anything anymore. You don't play it and think, oh, that was brilliant. You don't. Something happens and you just think, oh, that is just. It's worth your time, isn't it? Think, I've just played this for 4 hours and something amazing happens, and you think, that's just fucking fantastic. Games don't do that anymore. They just plod along and do the same old things.
Well, the best thing about this game is the way you die, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and the way they die as well. You can decapitate them. You can explode their head off, but they still keep coming to you. So you've got to shoot their head off. They've got to shoot their arms off. You've got to shoot their legs off. And then when you've done that, something like tentacles come out and grab you and attack you. Yeah, so you always think you've got them, and they still keep coming at you. So you literally are pummeling bullets into them. It's like hellfire. You just absolutely, which is fun, but
when they don't die,
do anything anymore.
Because
they do get you eventually.
I'm reading here, and one of the first things that came up for me is people are saying it's a really good game, but the core game mechanics aren't that great.
It's not a really good game then, surely.
There's not a lot to it.
A good horror game. I think they're saying it's a good horror game. You know, it's atmospheric or whatever, but it's being let down by its gameplay.
Well, the most important part, potentially.
There's nothing to it. It's I don't know. A lot of these games, they just seem to chuck them out. Oh, it looks pretty. You know, it plays well. That's good enough now, isn't it? Doesn't seem to matter.
There's a lot of good-looking games around these days, but some of them are a bit boring. Most of them, I would say.
Yeah, and they just don't hold my imagination. They just don't keep me anymore. 4, 5, 6 hours, and you just think, okay, I'm done, because you're waiting for something. You're waiting for that moment, and they just don't come, do they? I don't know. Oh, we're getting old. We're getting old.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know if it's a case of getting old. I think it's a case of we've seen it. I think
we've just seen it all. We just seen it all. It's doing. It's
not
doing anything different than what a 360 game would have done. Nothing different at all from a 360 game. It just looks a bit nicer.
Yeah.
That's it. Where are these new games that just get you and you just can't put them down? I don't know.
Elden Ring.
Because I've got the time to play them.
I think that's going
And
back.
if I'm going to do that, I'd rather just play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because this, I don't know. So I've been playing Call of Duty.
A little bit or a lot?
A lot. See,
Just
I used to be able to track. Yeah. Oh, only multiplayer. So I was playing Modern Warfare 2 because I kept holding out, thinking Modern Warfare 3 will come Game Pass at some point eventually, surely. So I've been playing Modern Warfare 2 for I think I'm 2,000 hours I've played it now. And then obviously Modern Warfare 3 dropped like a month ago. So I jumped straight on that. I've never bought a battle pass or whatever the version they called it.
It's a bit fucked up, that, to be honest.
It's why?
It just looks really confusing.
You just play through it and let it choose. You can.
Do I need to spend something? Do I have to pay money to
25
get it?
different zones.
Yeah.
Right. I bought it. I paid for the pass, the very first one that come out.
On 3.
But if you finish the season pass, if you do it 100%, you get enough credits to buy the next one. So I've never bought one apart from the first one.
Since when?
So I spent like 11 Modern Warfare 2 4 years ago.
Okay.
I've unlocked every single battle pass, but I've only ever paid for it once. Because you get enough credits through the system.
So what, the 2 credits carry over to 3?
Yeah. So even if you missed a month and thought, I'm not going to play it. I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, blah blah blah, and you didn't buy the battle pass, you can use the credits for the next time. And as long as you 100% it, you get enough credits for the next one. So I didn't buy the battle pass for the last battle pass for Modern Warfare 2 because I knew 3 was coming on Game Pass. So I waited and used them credits to start rolling into Modern Warfare 3. So does that make sense?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So
I've had beers
Black
tonight,
Ops.
so I'm getting there.
Right. So I've been playing Black Ops. I've played the beta.
Yes.
All the XP and everything that I got from that. When I went back into Modern Warfare 3, I jumped 30-something levels.
Right.
Because they gave all my XP and moved it back to the other game. But because it's not because it's an app now, isn't it? You don't know.
It's very weird.
You load up the Call of Duty app and you can play any one of them games. If you've got it, you installed it, you just click on it and start playing it.
Where's he gone?
Where's he gone?
I'm here.
Don't know. Anyway, so everything all molds into one. So you don't know. I don't know how long I've played Black Ops 4 because I can't look at my stats. I don't know how long I've played Modern Warfare 3 now because it all says it's Modern Warfare 2. It just all carries through. So it's just
one. Are you still playing
Warzone
and all that shit still? Or
I have stopped playing Warzone because I used to play
Rebirth.
The Rebirth, yeah. And they stopped doing, what was the other one called? Where they did you had little tasks in it. When they got Modern Warfare 3, they stopped doing it.
It was like the extraction thing,
called.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and I played that the most because that was brilliant. But they cut it. You can still play it if you go on to Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
But you can't play it in Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 3's got zombies, hasn't it?
Yes, they got zombies instead. They've still got Warzone.
Yeah. Warzone's its own thing,
part
basically.
of it. Yeah. But you still have to get into the Call of Duty app.
Call of Duty HQ.
It still loads into it to play it. Yeah, whatever it's called. And it's just all lumped into one now. Because you're getting the games free now, you're never going to have to buy them anymore. They just install straight away.
Yeah.
So to play Black Ops, you have to go into Modern Warfare 3 to play the beta.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
A lot of people were saying, "Oh, I was supposed to get the beta for free," and I've tried to download and it says I can't have it.
Yeah.
But
my boy
you have
was
to
having
go
problems.
into Call of Duty. Yeah, you have to go into Call of Duty first, and then there's a little box all the way along for where the list of the games are, and the Black Ops was there. When you click on that, it fires up Black Ops, the same as it would if you wanted to play Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 1 or 3. They just lumped it all together now.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to play the blocks, you had to download 180 gigs of Call of Duty just to play the beta.
Which I did.
Because you've got to have it all. Yeah.
Playing this week.
Black Ops is the best Call of Duty for years. It is fucking brilliant.
The multiplayer, obviously, this is.
Yes, absolutely.
How many times have you played the same fucking map already?
Oh, I've played 80 hours of it in 2 weekends.
Oh my
god! I've max rank, and I've ranked up my 3 guns that I want to use.
Are you rocking the XM4 or whatever it is?
No, I've got a Kalashnikov.
Ooh, look at you!
And I've picked perks where I've got, because normally you can only put 5 attachments on your gun. But there's a perk to have 8 attachments instead.
Oh, that's disgusting.
So, yeah, so I've got every fucking attachment. It's just brilliant. It's so good. The maps aren't great.
Oh, no, I quite like shipments.
Get better.
A shipment in Modern Warfare 3.
High Rise. Yeah, Modern Warfare it is, yeah. It's always going to be in it.
Yeah, it's going to be in it.
And Rust is in it. But the new one, there's one called High Rise, which is good.
I played a lot of High Rise.
There's a couple.
There was the one with the trains I played loads of. Felt like it was like every fucking map was the one with the trains. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've played this.
Yeah, I like that map though. That is quality.
Yeah,
that is a brilliant
I quite like the maps, to be honest. As far as Call of Duty maps go, I think they're all pretty good.
They're very small though. This is the problem. They've either got small or medium maps. There's not going to be any large maps. So you've either got to do little tiny mosh pit games. Yeah, I know, but it's nice to have the odd open map. But just the handling, the.
Are you a fan of the new?
The way it plays.
What's it called? Something movement. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, well, because you can dive forward, you can dive, you can lay.
You can
sit
turn
on your
while
ass with your feet in front of you.
Dive forward,
you
but
can
then
move
turn
while you're laying down. Yes, so you can jump forward. You can jump out of a window head first, and while you're going across, you can turn and you can shoot people as you're flying out of the window. It's mental.
It is pretty mental,
and it's so fast. I mean, I have my sensitivity on my controller almost at max anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that's. I tried it on controller because I heard about.
Apparently it's controllers. Even if you've got a PC, controller is the way to go. Apparently.
I couldn't get on with it. I needed
to you've got to get used to
fanny about with sensitivities, and I was like, because it was so slow. It was like, this is insane. I can't turn around before someone shoots me.
Yeah,
but on the mouse and keyboard, I was like,
and all my. I don't use my bumpers because I use paddles, so you don't never take your hands off of the, off of the sticks, and it's just
like a ninja.
It's so fucking good.
I feel like
I went back because the beta's
potential to be a big
I went back to play Modern Warfare 3, and it's like clunky as hell.
Is it?
So have they got a campaign for this then?
Black Ops 6 is going to have.
They will have.
I think it'll be decent as well. The Black Ops campaigns, like I didn't finish the one on because it was on PS Plus.
Black Ops campaigns have always been better, I think.
They're a bit more batshit story-wise. I'm playing through Modern Warfare 3 campaign at the minute. Is what I've been doing the last week.
So I'm not too sure. It must be 90s era.
It's 80s and 90s, isn't it? They go back and forth in
so the guns
Black Ops
aren't
stuff.
Yeah, the guns aren't stupid futuristic, but you obviously can have all this bloody stupid camos and stuff on it. But they're pretty simple guns. But it's not like World War II and clunky. So they've got Kalashnikovs and they've got Uzis and they've got stuff like that. It's just the movement. It's a completely different game. It's you've got to. well, you've played it. I don't know how much of it you've played, but
I've played a fair few hours.
Just the movement of it is so fast. It's so just it's crazy what you can do with it.
I don't know if it's a coincidence that since I played the Black Ops beta, I've been killing people in Hunt. Because it's so much slower.
Probably because it's slower.
It's so much slower than you like.
Yeah. But you've got to have your sensitivity whacked up because you've got to turn on a sixpence because everybody else is that quick.
That's what I just couldn't go back from mouse and keyboard. It was horrible. Going to controller without.
I don't know whether it's. I am playing with PC players, but they don't seem to have quite the. Whether it's because it's only beta and they haven't put everything in, but they don't seem to have quite the
advantage,
dexterity advantage. I think you can turn just as quick with a stick now as you can with a mouse.
Yeah, as long as you've got a sensitivity.
It's so fast. Yeah, mine whacked right up. And I've got my tension of my sticks right hard. So it's hard to move it.
Okay.
It doesn't just sort of go on like that with a stick because the tension's whacked right up. But it just feels solid and it's just so good.
Yeah.
And they've got some cool little things. They've got this brilliant little thing. So you can take someone hostage.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
And it's so funny. So you can come up behind them and you can grab them and use them as a shield, but you can talk to them like you're doing it. So you can go, come on, you little fucker, come with me, and you can move around and you're talking to them. It's so funny.
So how many times did you do that to somebody else? And how many times have you had that done to you?
I've had it done to me about 3 times, and I think...
Did anyone say anything actually horrendous while they were doing it to you?
No, because it's just little kids screaming fucking shit at you, isn't it? But I've probably grabbed more people than I've been grabbed. And then they've got this thing as like a secret agent. So one of the perks, you can look like the opposition.
Oh.
So instead of having a red, your red name, you're blue, the opposite team's red. When they see you, you look like one of them until you start shooting.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start shooting, then you turn back to the enemy. But you can run around with them and come walk behind them and then turn around and shoot them.
And then you grab them and go,
good.
Right, motherfucker.
Yeah. You can grab them. When you grab them, then they know that you're... But the only thing is, because you've got auto aim on controller, I've realised that if someone's being an agent coming towards you, if your crosshairs move towards them, they're the enemy.
Them.
Yeah. So as long as you as long as you let your stick go, you're not moving it yourself. You just leave it for the initial, like when you see someone. It's only split second, but literally as they come round the corner, your crosshairs move with them, and then you think, "Fuck it, you're one of them,"
you're
and then
dead.
you can shoot them. Yeah, but I don't know whether that translates if you're on PC because it's not got any auto aim.
Yeah, there's no aim assist. That's the advantage to playing with. Well, there will be aim assist if you play with a controller on PC.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
they've got all the benefits of a bloody PC, and they're using.
There's no other benefits to having
controllers.
a PC.
Well,
if you're using a controller on a PC, it's the same as using a controller on the Xbox. There's no difference.
That's what I mean. But they're using, but they're getting auto aim. They're getting.
Yeah, so what's the difference?
If you use a controller on a PC, you're still getting. No, because for the PC player, they're playing on PC because they're getting. They don't have aim assist if they're using their mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, but you can use a controller.
Better off using. Yeah, as a controller person. If you're using a controller on PC, you're getting the same benefits as if you're
on a console
using a controller on a console.
It's a level playing field. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. There's not.
There's
you're
no
not getting an advantage because you're using a. Yes, no. So that's why most people are going now onto controllers instead of.
Well, all the pros apparently play on controller now. All the pro Call of Duty leagues and all that, it's all controller. There's no mouse and keyboard anymore. So. But I couldn't get on with the controller
definitely, because you're not. See, I've always used controller anyway.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
there's definitely a difference
before.
now. It's definitely a lot. You're a lot more mobile. You can do things that I've seen fucking people on PC. Literally, fucking, they're spinning around 10 times quicker than anyone can ever do on a controller.
Not anymore.
You're looking at them and they turn around and shoot you before you've even, because the speed of where they can rotate. Well, the controllers can rotate just as quick now because of this multi-movement thing. Yeah. Oh, it's good. Yeah. And it's free, everybody. Come on.
It's easy if you've got Game Pass.
20th of October. Get in there.
I'll be playing.
I'm already ranked 30 and I've got a fully decked out Kalashnikov. But if you want to come and find me,
I'll be up for
hopefully they won't nerf it before. Yeah, I'm assuming I get to keep all that shit. Surely. They're not going to put me back down to rank 0.
Who knows?
No, they won't do that. But anyway, that's Call of Duty. It's the best one for donkey's years.
But it's not even out yet.
Well, that's good.
No.
See what they do to change it, because like there'll be loads of people moaning about something or other. Because depends how much attention they pay to the Twitter twats.
But some of them, the last few years they've been bang average. Modern Warfare's have been good, but all the other ones, last few years have been pretty tripe.
Pretty tepid.
They've definitely got better at it.
Yeah, that's good.
But Fraser don't like Call of Duty, do you, Fraser?
Yeah. I mean, I sort of moved away from it, really. I haven't played Valorant for a long time either. It's not Hunt, that's for sure.
I did have Valorant because it's on
Xbox, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
It's on Xbox, yeah.
Yeah, hard though.
It's clunky as fuck.
Oh, is it?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
Valorant's a very precise shooter. Valorant's unforgiving, that's for sure.
Depends how much aim assist they put in that.
Yeah, I don't know if you get any, do you?
No.
I don't know whether it's cross play though.
I don't think so.
I think it's only console.
Yeah, probably.
That would definitely be a fucking nightmare.
I'm not going to talk about Balatro. I don't think there's anything we really need to talk about there. Do we need to talk about Hunt Showdown?
Not really.
We can probably give that a miss. I did play some Gran Turismo 7, which I got from the library. Yeah, in typical fashion, I'm not going to keep playing Gran Turismo. I'm just not interested in playing a driving game. But I was very interested in loading up, having a look. That game looks phenomenal. It looks really nice. I was very impressed with how it looked. And then it had a neat thing while it was downloading. It put me into this sort of...
Music Rally, is it called?
A Music Rally or whatever it is. And I have to say, I was tickled pink when I started the first race and it was hooked on classics because I had that album when I was a kid and I know it all the way through. And it was different. It was neat. I thought that was clever.
You can play that once the game's fully installed as well,
I'm sure you can, yeah. And I just thought that was really good. I thought they'd done that really well. And if that was any sort of indicator of what the rest of the game was going to be like, then I'm sure it'd be good. Unfortunately, I've got to go back to the library tomorrow. So I may get it out again. You just buy it. That's Neil's answer to everything. Just buy it.
Come on, yeah, Mint Safe's in the chat. Says get on the time trials. Come on, join in.
Oh, is that what you guys are all doing?
Do you have to pay a subscription for this library, or do you have to pay for each thing you get out, or what? How does the library work nowadays?
The library,
you just have a library card and it's free.
I've got a library card, yeah, and that's it.
And it's free.
Yeah,
you have to go to the library though.
You can only keep games out for a week, and then the late fees are $1 a day. You
could have that for 70 days over and pay for it, basically.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
It's probably like 100.
I have just booked with the library. I've reserved my copy of the new Zelda game, which I found out about this morning.
What the one that's actually got Zelda in it?
Echoes of something, whatever I think it's called, isn't it? Yeah.
Is that a remake of some old one?
No, this is a new game.
No, it's new.
This is the first time you can play as Zelda.
Yeah. So that's
2D, 3D. What is it?
Isometric, like the remake of
the little cutesy one they did last year.
The cutesy one, yeah, exactly.
That wasn't really isometric, was it?
Okay.
Sort of, wasn't it?
It was still like that overhead map
It's not like
everything
Breath
was
of
in
the Wild,
3D.
though, is it? It's not a proper.
No.
Yeah.
I can't think what it's called.
Mm.
Link to the Past?
Probably. Link to something. Link to my bank account.
So, what, have you not played it? You literally installed it, you never played anything other than the Music Rally?
I played the Music Rally.
That's
Finished it. Got gold, mate.
Good for you. Have you done the licenses?
Yeah. No. I'd had enough.
That took you a week. Oh, they ain't still got that stupid
It
thing
didn't
where you
take
have
me
to
a week.
drive
It took me about 20 minutes, and that was it.
You have to do the licenses.
failed.
You have to
I
still
failed
get your
mi-
license in that silly game.
Yeah. Look.
You
I
have
failed
to
miserably.
do a
I
certain
haven't.
speed and stop and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
But you can still do other
failed
stuff.
Fuck's sake.
I failed miserably. I didn't play much of it. Sorry, Neil. I apologize.
Yeah.
I got excited when I saw it on your list and then just
Yeah.
dashed it, everything.
Well, I gave it props. Go on,
Yeah,
tell us about
that's
Hollow
fine.
Knight, and then we can get out of here.
Yeah, so Hollow Knight. May have heard of this game. Still eagerly awaiting a sequel to this game, which I haven't finished.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've started this game before. I started this game when we did Extra Life, whenever that was. And I started it on the PC. And I got a fair distance. But I started this game on my PS5 this time. I don't know why. I was like, I'm not going to start from where I started before because it's been ages since I played it. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So I'll start on PS5. It's on PS Plus, Extra, and Premium. So I played it there. And I'm not quite sure I've got as far as I did before. It takes ages to unlock your second ability in this game. Like, as the Metroidvanias go, I feel like it's a long slog before you get your first extra ability, which is not double jump. But yeah, it's one of those. It's a Metroidvania.
Was it an air dash?
It's a dash. Well, it's you can dash in the air and on the ground. So yeah, it's a dash, but it works in the air as well. I can't remember. It's some sort of cloak. It's called the moth wing cloak, I believe. Maybe I might have got that wrong, but I think it's something like that. But it's fucking hard, this game. It's quite early still. You have to be so fucking precise from early days. Like, the amount of times I've just not quite pressed the jump button at the right time and then just run straight off the edge of the platform. Like, for fuck's sake. Not always to my death, but usually just like I've got to run back round the way I just came to get back to where I was to make sure I time this jump properly. But you have to be on it. It feels like you can't be like casually playing Hollow Knight. I don't think.
No,
you have
it'll
to be.
cane you.
You have to be concentrating.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think that was the problem I ran into. I reckon I got about 3/4 of the way through, and then I hit a part, an area or whatever that wasn't easy. Not that much of it was easy before that, but I think by the time I hit this other part, I'd had enough, and I couldn't keep the enthusiasm up to keep battling it. It was, but you know what, my son, he just pushed through. He's finished it on probably the hardest levels, and he is holding his breath for the sequel. But yeah, it's a good game. It's really well made.
It's really I don't know. It looks nice. It's a weird. It's like it's got a style. It's not like going to blow you away visually or anything like that. It's not as spectacular as some of the other Metroidvanias that you've played, but it's really nicely animated and everything. And like I say, you have to be really focused on what you're doing. You can't be fucking dicking about. Unless you're some sort of savant, like super skilled player. Yeah. Maybe it's just being young.
If I have to do something more than 3 times now, I just turn it off.
Yeah, that's right. Ain't got time for that.
Well, I think it does follow that. It feels so far, at least, like all of the bosses. It's like that 3-phase boss thing from sort of Mario. If you hit the thing 3 times, you get to the thing 3 times, you've done it. So far, anyway. You kind of know where you are. There's no big health bars to tell you where you are in the fights or anything like that. But yeah, if you do the thing 3 times, that you get to a point, you probably finished so far, at least. But yeah, it's one of those games I've kind of I've liked the style of game for a long time, and I know recognise that this one has been highly regarded by a lot of people, and I feel like I just need to fucking get it done basically before the next one comes out. So thankfully for me, I've got fucking ages to do it before the next one comes out.
When was this one released?
Oh, it's just been fucking out ages.
2015.
I'm watching a video from 9 years ago. So there you go. That's been a while.
2013.
Yeah. It says 2017 here. Maybe it was an early access. I don't know. But yes, it's a good Metroidvania so far, but it's pretty hard.
No, 2017 it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the video I'm watching is from 9 years ago, but the game came out in 2017. That's a bit weird. But yeah, some of the boss fights are pretty there's mini bosses and big bosses, but yeah, it's quite odd. But so far, it's good.
Yeah, I would say with Hollow Knight, it's one of those things I wouldn't want to put people off by saying it's too hard. It's definitely worth dipping into because I think it's a really good game. Excuse me. But yeah, it does get hard.
Yeah, I don't know if people will finish it, but you should probably try it. Because
you might like it. You should. Maybe they should.
Try it.
Try it out.
Yeah. It could end up being my game of the year.
Oh, wow.
Well, I've got to finish it. Well, it could be. Who knows? It's that highly regarded, isn't it? Lots of people absolutely fucking love this game. So.
Well, yeah, but your game of the year, I'd be surprised at that. But there you go. Hey,
you never know. But
you never know.
It's definitely got to knock something else off its perch, which wasn't a full game so far. So. Although, did you see that? Speaking of games that I really enjoyed, that you should probably check out on your PC. Because if you haven't got Game Pass, have you? Fuck.
Nope.
Jedi Survivor had its update.
No.
Shite.
What do you mean shite?
No one likes that.
The new one's good. That. It's fucking good.
I played it. It was boring.
You were boring.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boring.
You're a madman.
Telling you it's boring.
It's not boring.
Pilch, is it boring?
I ain't made a good Star Wars game for about 30
Don't think
years.
they've ever made a good Star Wars game, honestly.
They did. The first Star Wars arcade machine was good.
It wasn't that good.
Oh, mate. What you
The one with the AT-ATs where you had to fly and shoot them on the Atari was good.
I don't think it was.
That was the best.
That? 1980 something, yeah.
That was way better than Battlefront 2.
Anyway.
Anything else?
I think that's it, isn't it?
All right. Any other business?
I think I've got hang on. I've got out of caring about what I'm playing, so I don't retain anything anymore. If I was on the podcast every week, I'd be playing games thinking, right, now, what have I just done here? How does this mechanic work? I need to talk about this later. Now I just go, oh, it's all right. I shot some things and looks nice.
That's pretty much how the show is.
Yeah. Why does anyone listen?
Fuck knows.
It's all the bullshit.
Something fresh. There's got to be something come out. See all these little games like.
What about? Did you not play Thank Goodness You're Here?
No, no, I didn't. Just some little I would love. I don't know why I haven't tried that Blackjack because I love bloody card games. Actual like.
It's on the Xbox.
Card games. I know it is, but I've got to buy it, and
it's only like a tenner.
It'll be free. It'll come. The trouble is now I see a game, and think, oh, that. Yeah, that'll be on Game Pass soon.
I don't know if that
Game Pass soon. I don't know.
Well, I think Game Pass is. I don't know. We'll see. What other things are coming to Game Pass like that aren't Xbox games? I don't know. Can't remember what's on there. Now.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, see, that's an Xbox game, so I'll be interested in that for sure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's Xbox Game Studios now.
It's not a Microsoft game, is it? Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Because they own Bethesda, isn't it? It's Bethesda, or whatever part of them, isn't it? It's Machine Games, isn't it? Whoever they're under Bethesda, aren't they? Oh, I can't even remember. There's so many companies they own now. I can't even fucking remember. It was the Wolfenstein people.
I think we're going
they've gone to shit. That last Wolfenstein game was absolute.
Well, that was too.
You're not going to let me finish,
Young
are you?
Blood, was it called? Yeah, come on. Right, that's it. Do your spiel, Dave.
Dave's spiel. There you go. Here, I'll do Dave's spiel. At Seal Podcast. Just look that up. You'll find us. There we go. That's Dave's spiel.
Pilch read on Instagram, everybody. You want to see what I've had
read
for
on
lunch?
Instagram. Wee. I hope there's nothing more saucy.
Very active at the moment.
Is it? How many lunches a day are you having?
There's a lot of my lunch.
We're not talking about lunches anymore. That's it. We're done. All right. Thanks very much. Pilch, thank you very much for coming back. It's good to have you here again, mate.
So who's cooking tea now? Your missus has broke down.
No, she's back. She's cooking tea now, so I got to go.
You just had to start the air car again, did she?
Made it sound like it was a drama, didn't he? Something serious we need to worry about. And she's
it is something to worry about because I have to fix it, whatever the problem is. But anyway, she still made it. She limped home. She's fine.
She was in
restricted mode of fucking all things we were talking about.
It's your fault.
Just keep going. She's listening to the podcast. She's got it on Twitch, and she's going, I'll just keep going till I get home. It'll be all right.
Fair play to her. She didn't call the AA. She just fucking went on with it. So, not that the AA would help. CAA maybe. All right, we're waffling, or I'm waffling. Thank you very much, Pilch. Thank you, Neil. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank the people in the chat. Thank the people in the chat for turning up and saying things.
I don't know who was in the
Quaxel,
chat.
Mint Safe, Sumu.
All right.
And Dave.
And thanks for the emails, everyone. Appreciate it.
Good, and tweets.
Good show. Yeah. All right, we'll catch up with you next week. Thanks, everyone.
See you soon.
Later.
Thanks, Pilch.